Welcome to another edition of Positively Douglasville. I am very excited today to have my friend, the chair of the County Commission, Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones, here in the studios with us, just to share a little bit about the county, the state of the county, and we'll talk for people in our viewing audience just to get to know you a little bit better. We see you on TV, and now we have an opportunity to see you live and in person. So I'm just excited to have an opportunity to speak with you, my colleague at the county. So welcome, Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones, to Positively Douglasville.
Thank you, Mayor Robinson. I'm glad to be here today.
Yes, ma'am. So we're just going to talk a little bit. I want to talk about you personally. How long have you been in the county?
Okay, I've been here for 15 years.
Wow.
Moved here from Denver, Colorado. That was the last duty station of my former husband's duty station. He was in the Marine Corps, and that was our last station. And actually, our daughter graduated from high school there. So we stayed a few years longer than anticipated to allow her to graduate from high school because she demanded 4 years because she said, Mom and Dad, I'm in the 9th grade. Dad, you are retired from the military, but I refuse to move until I graduate. So we had to follow her orders.
Now, how's the weather in Denver? Isn't it
bone-chilling cold?
It is cold?
Yes, but however, it's a different type of cold. It's a dry cold, so it's not as cold as on the East Coast. So it was manageable, but it's a long winter. Usually the weather, you start enjoying the summers around July, mid-July, so it's not unusual for it to even snow a little bit in June.
Wow.
There, so.
Wow. My brother's been on tours with his friends. They do excursions, and Denver, Colorado was one of the places he loved. He said the scenery was just really beautiful.
It's beautiful.
The area is really nice. So, but we are blessed to have you to be a Peach. You're an official Peach now.
Yes.
You've been here 15 years, but I know you're from Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee is my home. That's where I was born and raised.
Wow.
Yeah, graduated from Hamilton High School.
Okay.
Go Hamilton.
Yes.
But
yes, because we see Mayor Vince Williams, who's originally from Memphis, and so you all have a connection, and it's something about Memphis people. I think you have a resilience or something.
That's very ironic. Vince Williams and my brother graduated from high school together, and myself and Vince's sister graduated. We were sophomores, and Vince and my brother were seniors. So of course, they wanted us out of the way at the time because they were big and we were considered small. But yes, I remember Vince very well, and I appreciate working with him as a Union City mayor. He's doing a great job.
He sure is. He's running unopposed, and that is
fantastic.
Great. I know.
Fantastic.
Yes. So we just saw him at Georgia Tech, where we went for the Atlanta Connect.
Yes.
Yes, so we can talk to our audience a little bit about our connection just in a few minutes, but I want to stay on a personal note and talk about your wonderful daughter who I interviewed Mr. Weaver, principal of Douglas County High School, and I mentioned something about your daughter because my daughter had her in honors English or literature or something, and he just took off. He lit up, and he went on talking about Miss Jones. So you talk to us about your baby, your one and only.
I know. She's the wind beneath my wings. She's amazing, an extraordinary young woman.
Yes.
I'm so great. I'm proud to, number one, to have given birth to an educator, and also she's an AKA.
Yes, she is.
Very important. So. She's just the wind beneath my wings. She was born to teach. She's, I understand, very natural in the classroom. The students definitely have taken to her. She's always been very creative.
Yes.
And I noticed that from a very young age. And she, in college, she has she trained to be professional theater with the concentration in acting was her training for her BFA. In college, and then of course she went on for a master's in secondary education with a concentration in English. So she is just soared like an eagle. She's a cheerleading coach at Douglas County High School for the JV team.
Yes.
And she is, I'm proud.
Yes. And she has honors English?
This year she's teaching actually honors AP English.
Okay. Wow. That's impressive.
And public speaking. Because she said that's a necessary evil that you need to have when you're communicating, particularly. She has a classroom full of football players this year, so when they win these big Super Bowls, they'll be prepared to articulate.
That's right.
Yes, when they win the MVP Player of the Year, they can speak on the camera, so she's real tickled about that.
Very good. And she comes from a line of education and educators. Speaking of, just talk to us about your background in healthcare. 40 years?
At 40 years.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, yes.
Because we're Army sisters, so you know.
Started off my healthcare background in the Army. Was the second set of women to go through basic training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, 1976. The first set of women went through in 75.
Wow.
So it's an honor to say that I'm a historic woman for being the second group of women to go through that particular base. And then from there, went to the Academy of Health Sciences for 91B and 10. We call it 91B and 91D10. 91B is a medic. I have a Geneva Convention card because that was post-Vietnam.
Wow.
And then from there, 91D is an operating room specialist. So I worked in surgery as part of my first love. That is my first love, surgery. And then after from there, went on to Fort Gordon, which is in Augusta.
Yes.
So I was there for a while, and then served after my 3 years served and married a Marine and lived all over the United States. Started in North Carolina, had a stint of experience there. Occupational health and environmental health was one of my stints. Had an opportunity to run the first environmental program for the Department of the Navy.
Wow.
Back in '85. So I had an opportunity to do that for a 4-year stint. So I was one of the first civilians in the United States to run an environmental program for the Department of the Navy. So I'm dating myself. I don't like talking about too much history. And then from there, we received orders for California from North Carolina, and then we went from North Carolina and to California, and then opened up 2 big hospitals there.
Wow.
Because they needed a master facility team to help pull the projects off, and I had an opportunity to be there. Then we received orders for Denver, and then that was another opportunity for a master facility planning project and execution, which is huge, and it's trillions of dollars to get these projects up and running. And healthcare is very complex, by the way. And then last but not least, moved here 15 years ago, and I retired from Children's Healthcare of Atlanta last year and was relaxed and said I would never work on another master facility planning project again. And noticed the team that we had a special call meeting of the directors and the managers, and I noticed the team across the table was the same team that I worked with in California and Denver.
Wow.
And I said, why are you all here? They said, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta is getting ready to undergo one of the largest master facility planning and execution projects in the history of Georgia. And guess what? You have the honor to go with us. I said, here we go.
Gosh.
So it's a wonderful place. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta at the Eggleston campus is a Taj Mahal. It's wonderful, huge.
Yes.
And I'm proud to say that I was involved with that master facility planning project for the state of Georgia. And then spent 5 years in the classroom as an adjunct professor at Brown Mackie College of Atlanta and taught medical specialists, and what else did I teach? Anatomy and physiology, and also surgical technology. So I have about 150 surgical technologists that are throughout Georgia, or either probably beyond the borders of Georgia, in the operating rooms with these surgeons, passing instruments, suctioning, holding retractors, touching hearts, brains, whatever they so desire. So that is the extent, and here I am. Ran for office, and I'm the chair.
Yes, and you and I have in common that when we ran for office the first time for a particular office, we didn't get it, but like Abraham Lincoln, we kept on running.
Right.
And it was a time such as this that, the people decided to elect us, and it was ordained, I believe, by God to be in a place for such a time as this. So talk to us about your tenacity and not giving up. But see, you couldn't give up. And like you said, I come from a sterile environment. I'm used to things being in control, and sometimes it's out of control when you're running for office, but it doesn't change who you are, because that election, your last election, was about your character, really. There was a lot going on outside, and really you were like the bubble, the sterile bubble. You said the outside forces aren't going to change who I am. This is who I am. And people could see that. It was really genuine and sincere.
Well, I've always been a person that believes that my setback is a setup for your comeback. I'm very resilient. I love Vince Lombardi. He says there's no room for second place, and I mean that, and he meant it as well. I read a book recently. I had an opportunity to meet Mary Parker. She said her book is called The Chicken Charge. So I wanted to know what it was about. And she said she was the second child, like myself, you.
Yes.
We're both middle children. And for some reason, middle children have a spark of energy that is unexplainable because we are always, I don't know about you, I was in survival mode. I had an older brother and a younger sister, and she told him everything, and of course I had to go between both of their rounds.
That's
so
right. I was
it was survival mode.
That's right.
But I also had to be a peacemaker.
Yes.
And I just believe in never give up. I always keep pushing. Even when I was working on the doctorate, that was that was amazing. That was stress.
Wow.
Pressure. Can you do it? And I just believe put a little cold water on yourself, pick yourself up, and just keep moving. Never give up. And when I was in elementary school, the principal made us chant every morning, if I try hard enough, I can do anything. And those words resonated with me, and they just kept pushing and pushing. And that has been my force, along with my parents and their inspiration.
Yeah.
I just believe that you just should never give up, regardless of what it is. And I believe in competing, and this is the secret, but I love to compete.
You couldn't tell. You do it so graciously.
Yeah, I love to compete,
yes.
So that's important to me. I had a couple of colleagues say, you're the most competitive person I know. I said, well, no, I don't try to be, but I want to win.
That's right. That's right.
But when I win, I want to deliver on what I've talked about doing.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of people just want to win just for the title and things like that. But I believed that if I was just given the opportunity, I would deliver on all those promises.
Yes, ma'am.
Campaign promises that I said I would do. And it's been an honor working with you as well.
Oh, thank you. You
as
too.
my Army sister.
I know
and
it.
we
Fort
both
Jackson.
Fort Jackson, South Carolina. We both know what it means to be in a foxhole.
That's right.
You keep your head down until it's time to come up.
There you go. And you know, in the foxhole, it doesn't matter. You know, they used to say you don't bleed red or what, you bleed Army green.
Yeah, you bleed
So
Army
it doesn't
green.
matter, you know, who's in the foxhole with you, but people have to protect you. So race, demographics, all
Right.
of that is out of the window. We're all on the same page.
That's exactly.
And that's how really, as an elected official and as a leader, a servant leader, we need to be. And like
Right.
Dr. King said, we can all be great because we can all serve.
That's
so
exactly
just get
right.
in, roll your sleeves up, and get to working.
And that's what and that segues into what I believe what I bring to the county is that transparency piece, and I
Yes.
believe in an even playing field. And I believe that there's enough room for everybody to get a piece of this pie right now. Douglas County is booming.
Yes,
actually,
we are.
Douglas County and Douglasville. We are
Yes.
actually just at the premiere of our growth for being placed on the map. My vision as we move forward, we will be the state of, we will be the county of excellence and the city of excellence for Douglasville in the state of Georgia if
That's
we keep
right.
moving in the direction we're going in.
Now, some of your initiatives in the short 10 months. Oh my gosh, you have done Keep Douglasville, Keep Douglas County beautiful. Resurfacing the SPLOS was passed, and so we've talked about initiatives to do together. You and I both sit on the Atlanta Regional Commission, and while we're there, we're taking notes, scrupulously looking at, just like we're going to make sure we get everything down so that we can, you know, position ourselves for Douglasville, Douglas County to be great in the region and in the state.
Right.
And in the world, in the country, really. So just talk to us about some of your great initiatives that you've done. And I mentioned the Keep Douglas County Beautiful, but you have really, you're a visionary leader. And it really shows. People are catching on fire, and they're moving with you, and some people get left behind. You just, you just keep moving, which is great. And I always say that the rearview mirror in your car is very small, and the windshield is large. So it isn't being disrespectful. Of course, you look to the past, but it's just a portion to the past. You can't live there, or you're not going to forge to the future. So if they can't get on board, we thank you for your service.
Oh, I know. Well, the administration kicked off with transparency. That's very important. We heard the citizens loud and
Yes.
clear that they want to know what's going on behind the Iron Curtain. So we took that down. Public size, we now publicize all of our work sessions, which is sometimes everybody's exciting. I guess it's similar to As the World Turns to some people, but we want you to be engaged. And that
Yes.
piece, I promised the citizens that we wanted that engagement piece. Technology, we had an opportunity to advance our technology within the constraints of our own operation first. We wanted to be effective there.
Yes.
So we've done a lot of things that moved the county ahead into the 21st century. Then we are spreading abroad. We are excited about the SPLOS. We jumped on that, and we have a voluminous amount of projects that are out there that we're working on. Just to give you an idea, Lee Road expansion is working. We're moving on that project. We are. A lot of our parks are undergoing renovation.
Very good.
Our fire and EMS system, the 911 radio system that we've been trying to get for about 10 years, is my understanding. Now that's in the infant stage. We are pushing through. The RFQ has been processed, so we're moving along with that. That's about a $16 million purchase, but it's well worth it for our citizens of Douglas County. Our Sweetwater master plan has been approved, and we have that on the books for 10 years. So a lot of things we were able to go back and pick up and check things off that needed to be done. Our roads, we had some roads here hadn't been repaired 30 to 35 years, so that is so refreshing to see that we have $51 million that we're allocating for out of the splosh. Thanks to our citizens, we're humbled for this splosh. And that allows us to work on our roads. So $51 million will be allocated to roads and infrastructure, sidewalks, and things of that sort that we so very badly need here.
That's right.
And then and also we're looking at not only that, but we're looking from an economic development standpoint. So we're really excited about Switch that's coming, Switch is a $2.5 billion investment. It's the largest investment, not in Douglas County's history, but in Georgia's history.
Wow.
So that is amazing. So we are the soil is being tilled as we speak now for that project. So that will really jumpstart or boost the economy here in Douglas County. We're really excited about that. The Google expansion is complete. You know, they had part 1, but part 2 is complete. We had Z Galleria in Lithia Springs, which was a $3.7 million investment, but they're up and running. That's I guess it's an inventory furniture store for the California side, but they bring furniture from one side, and we're a distribution center.
Oh, good.
And then Project Buck, that's in Villa Rica. That's been, I believe, there was an area cleared many years ago, but nothing was done with that. But it's moving right along. That will be, I believe, a $3 million investment. So we are still working on that. But it should be some announcements coming up real soon. And you know I love Jason Deli. So we're working on that.
So you said you saw Panera Bread.
Panera Bread is open. I'm excited. And that's, again, competition. The mayor said, I have Panera Bread. I'll bring Jason Deli. So we like to have fun like that.
That's right.
But Panera's open. I haven't had an opportunity to go, but the lines were just backed up yesterday when I looked over. I said, "Oh, look at all the people!" So
we're
so
excited about that.
And I'm excited about what's going on in the city. My favorite store in the whole world, Home Goods.
Yes, Home Goods is. People keep saying to me, "Home Goods, Home Goods." So we're excited about that, and I really appreciate the relationship that we have in that when we go to the Development Authority meetings that we have once a month, you know, we aren't fighting for, is it the city or the county, or it doesn't really matter. What's good for the city is good for the county. What's good for the county is good for the city. The city is in the county, you know.
Yes. But we all are one big happy family, one melting pot. And we, again, you have the Keep Douglasville Beautiful. I talked to my external affairs director, Tiffany Stewart. Yeah, Tiffany Stewart Stanley. I said, we need to keep Douglas beautiful. But it's fun to me. I like that because we want the entire county to take advantage because you all are leading by example for the cleanliness.
Oh,
and again, as you said, I worked in surgery all my life. And most of my life I've been, not all surgery, but a significant amount. And it was sterile. Everything was clean. And I'm contagious. If it's filthy, it's contagious to me. So I wanted to keep a clean county. And that sets the standard for this county in particular when we have businesses, when we move here, and they come in and you have a lot of big businesses that are peeking at Douglas County. And they look at the roads and, you know, I know they look at schools, but they look at how well or how do you keep your county? Is it clean? You have right signage up and so on and so forth. So right now we are on board with doing that here from the county level. And appreciate you allowing Tiffany to work with Shan Weeks.
Oh, yes.
Is it Shan?
Yes, Shan Weeks.
Shan Weeks and on the initiative because we just unveiled the Keep Douglas County Beautiful about a week ago.
Very good.
But we still are in the infant stage. We got to get everybody with the vest, and I'm excited to be out there to help pick up some paper. I'm excited. And also we want to look. We'll be taking it to the schools as well, and Tiffany and Shan will work in partner on
yes,
this
in
ordeal,
partnership.
just to make sure that we started from the children all the way up from the youth. And also, we will be putting some signs out very soon. Do not litter signs, and of course, with that comes with fines.
That's
but
right.
we want to get everything in place, and then we want to notify our small businesses and large businesses. We want to, if they could help us with this effort.
That's right. That's right. And people can get on board with cleanliness. That's something everyone can do.
Yeah, it's easy. It's a quick fix.
It's a quick fix. Just last week, I think it was last Saturday, they started to run together. We kind of spruced up the alleyway here in Plaza. And so I was there with Chan and some other volunteers to keep Douglasville beautiful. And we planted shrubs and just trying to spruce up the area. And hopefully it'll build on and connect with our cleanup amnesty week that we have in the city, where people can put anything out on your regular pickup day. You can put mattresses and anything out there, appliances, just to kind of help people keep those, keep the area beautiful. So we talked about economic development, and another topic that we are in tandem with working together is homelessness. We are understanding that that's becoming more and more of an issue. It's a systemic problem. It isn't just in Douglasville or Douglas County. It's all over the country. But we have to address it and try to address it with compassion and a comprehensive plan to help with our homeless population. So I know we've been talking together, but it's yours to share. It was in the paper, so if you don't mind talking to us a little bit about
it's mine to share, but the credit is, I want to give credit where it's due, and that's to Judge Bo McLean, who has led the effort on this great, I think it's transformation for Douglas County in terms of addressing the needs of our homeless population. He proposed to the board. He shared his vision. It's called, Sanctuary Village. And it's located the old landfill. It's at the landfill,
yes, ma'am,
right by the old animal shelter. But that old animal shelter will be demolished. So we're not moving anyone into the animal shelter. That's certainly not what we would do.
Right.
We're just clearing the land so we can make sure that we have space for our double-wide trailers. Right now we have, I believe, 3 that he's going to place out there. But what he's going to do for those trailers, just not throw them out there. We're going to have a construction team come in and compartmentalize the trailers and allow everyone to have their own door and their own segment. So probably with that, I'm just guessing, I'm certainly not an engineer, maybe with one double-wide trailer you could create 5 or 6 living spaces for them to walk in. They have their own little small refrigerator, their little stove. It'll be heated, warm, quite sure TV. And then also we have a van service that we are providing from the county level and a driver to allow the citizens to be driven to look for jobs. Workforce development, who's here on Club Drive. They could go there and work on the applications, developing resumes, so they can keep moving and in the right direction as far as their life is concerned. We are happy and supportive. We were happy to support Judge McLean's vision, along with Tim Pruitt, who's working with them on it as well. So we feel that it shouldn't be long before this happens, but the Board of Commissioners just gave our approval, extended our approval last Tuesday for Sanctuary Village to transpire, to come forth. So we're really excited.
Yes, because it's becoming not a huge problem, but it's noticeable. That, you and I talked about it one time. We left a meeting and we went to eat, and someone approached us. And not that we were alarmed, but it brought attention to the issue, that there is something that we need to do about the people in our community that don't have any place to live. And we want to be compassionate, but we also want to give a hand up. Yeah,
we want to give a hand up versus a handout, and that's just to get them acclimated. Certainly could be considered transitional housing, but the goal is to get them working up and ready to move back into society.
To have some pride.
So we're ready, and I'm excited that the county decided to, first of all, Judge Bo McLean. I give him all the credit. We are supporting his vision for him to move forward with this, and I believe that it's going to pan out in the best interest not only of the county but for the citizens that need this type of services and
that's right.
These amenities. I believe it's going to be okay. I feel very comfortable, especially from the humanitarian portion, side of me. I really feel that we should do something, and it's being done.
No, that's
so
exciting.
We have talked about it a long time in Douglas County, but
Yes,
today, guess what? It is being done.
Wow, wow. And of course we will we're going to have a homeless, the chief has had it before, but we'll have a coalition that will include Judge Bo McClain and United Way, Rotary Club, some of the nonprofits, Pastor Ford, who has a men's assessment center, and some other of the churches who open up their churches for a warming station, First Presbyterian, First United Methodist, Heritage Baptist, because a lot of the folks are concentrated in the downtown area, of course, because these are where the services are.
Yes.
They can have food and get around a little bit better. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about, jumping trains.
Yes.
The new facility on Fairburn that the county's purchased of Bleakley.
The
What's
Bleakley
going
building.
on over there?
Okay, look at what's going on.
Yes.
The tax office will be moving there. The
Okay.
the tax assessor's office will be moving into that particular front part of the Bleakley building.
Okay.
And then in the back we have our fleet management team, which of course will be it will move from Chicago Avenue
Yes.
to the new big fleet building, and of course it has. I love it. It's huge. Big bays for all the
Yes.
cars, the fire trucks,
Oh,
the repairs
great.
of all our sheriff cars, my vehicle if it needs the oil change or what
Yes.
have you. So it's been a long time coming. The fleet building that's existing now on Chicago Avenue is really, it's time. It's old, it's stressed and worn. So that team is very happy. So hopefully we'll see some movement
Yes.
around the holiday season for maybe the fleet team. Just can't, it's a little too early to say about when the tax team will move, but we're anticipating probably around the spring. It's hard for me to say because it depends on the weather.
Yes.
The weather depends on how fast we move, but we're really excited about that investment.
Good.
And our new animal shelter, of course.
Yes, it's
that's in Dearly.
beautiful.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yes.
And Frances, you know Frances? We promoted her recently. She is a new animal shelter director.
Oh. Was she at the ribbon cutting?
Yes,
Okay,
Frances,
I
yes.
do know.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're really excited.
Congratulations.
So she's been promoted. So we're
Very
happy about her.
good. Now, you and I are working together. When you said tags, it reminded me of something. On a driver services, you know, I've talked to the director for driver services and State Senator Mike Dugan to try to get a facility in Douglas County, because now if we have to renew our license, we have to go to Carrollton or Cobb. And so we would really, I know you and I talked about that, and veterans. We wanted to have a veterans satellite office in the area. So I just wanted people to know that we're working together to try to make that happen.
Yes.
Have driver services in Douglas County as well as veteran services.
Yeah, on the driver services component, we are actually looking at a renewal site. That's what, as I think my last conversation with Gravely, Representative Gravely and Senator Dugan shared that because we have services in Cobb County Center and then have one in Carroll, that probably our best bet would be a renewal
Just renewals,
site.
yes.
But we'll take that.
I know it. We'll take whatever it makes it more convenient for
Yeah,
us
it'd be
not to have
convenient.
to drive
Yeah.
to either counties. Not like we don't, we're happy to do that, but it would be really nice if we had it right in our own community.
Right.
So,
And then also I want to just shed a little light on our Workforce Development Center that we work with ARC, Atlanta Regional Commission.
yes.
That's very important. It's here in Douglas County. A lot of people are not aware of it. Off Club Drive, you have an opportunity to go to the center and apply for jobs, look resumes. If you need to learn about how to speak in interviews, whatever you need,
Wow.
there's opportunities there. And then we have a mobile unit that goes out.
Yes.
They're now coming out one Thursday a month at the courthouse. And then
I'm stealing that from you. I already asked if they can come over here too.
Yes, that'll be fine. So we're just trying to,
Yes.
what we're doing, we're taking the show on the road,
Yes.
for a lack of a better term. And then from there, Lithia Springs Library, they go there once a week, and then also Dog River.
Oh,
So
very
we're just
good.
trying to spread the wealth throughout the county to let citizens know that Douglas County is open for
Yes.
business, and we are trying, from an economic development standpoint, to move the needle. And I believe we have. I had an opportunity to ride on Bankhead Highway this past weekend. I saw a couple of signs up, help wanted, we're hiring. If you go on that Riverside Thornton corridor, you have
Yes.
a Medline
Yes.
as signs out saying
They sure
help
do.
wanted. You have Gordon Foods. It's a lot of opportunities here. We just need to just get the word out. The messaging needs to be there, and we're working on it.
Very good, very good. Now, there was something. Oh, interns.
Yes.
You had your first class.
Oh, they were so
wonderful.
wonderful.
Weren't they? They were wonderful, and three of the young ladies came to shadow me. And so you had them. They were there for the entire summer?
Yes.
Wow. Talk to us about those
Well,
interns.
they were there for 8 weeks, but
8 weeks.
that's the
a
entire
long
summer,
time.
I
That's the
guess.
whole
I'm
summer.
assuming, yes. It was 3 of them, 4. We had a total of 5, but we had 4 specifically for the Board of Commissioners.
Yes, ma'am.
Went extremely well. I had Isaac Miller,
Yes.
Terry Miller's son. He was. I took the risk. I said, I'll take a high schooler. He was 16.
He's very mature.
Yeah, very
for his
mature.
age.
He fit right in. I was so excited about that. And then we had 3 college level students.
Yes.
And they did very well. They matriculated well. They had an opportunity to learn what it feels to be what it feels like to be in terms of a commissioner.
Yes.
So they had an opportunity. They had each commissioner had their own intern, with the exception of Commissioner Mulcair. And he said this year he's jumping on board as well with an intern because he saw how fruitful it was and what. We feel that these students will be able to carry this information with them through a lifetime. And some wanted to pursue government, and others just wanted the experience.
Yes.
But they had an opportunity to shadow me, you, and just see the entire county and how we operate at all levels. So it was exciting. And then we had a little small graduation for them and a little party, and then we presented them with certificates.
Very good.
And that was our inaugural class. And then we plan to do it every summer for 8 weeks because we want to give back to our youth. And speaking about youth, and then I want to move into the seniors.
Okay,
our seniors, Good Morning America, I said, wow, let's compete again. I know we're not, but let's do it.
That's
so
right.
with that,
it's healthy competition.
Yes, I said, let's televise the seniors at their birthday party at Woody Fife.
Okay.
So at first, we've had parties all the time for them, but we want to televise them, and that allows them to say their names, where they're from, and they can certainly share their ages. One lady, last week, a lady said, I'm 34 on this side and 34 on that. I said, well, gotcha. So it's just so exciting because they like the camera time, and then they can go home that evening or a month later, and they still can, if it's their particular month, because we start the celebration the first week of that particular month, which was October. We just had our birthday party last Friday. So we'll run that party for the whole month of October. So you'll get a chance to call your cousins and your friends and say, look at me. I had a chance to talk and speak on camera. So that's exciting for the seniors. And then, I sit on the aging committee for ARC. So I'm always fighting for our seniors.
That's
right. And whatever and I'm a senior myself, not ashamed. I'm at the forefront swinging for the seniors to make sure that they get what they paid their dues for.
That's right.
Yeah, they're paid their dues. They're the foundations, yes.
And I want to thank you also. We had an issue, it was a very serious issue with the senior, not to go into all of the personal intricacies about that, but you really solved the problem.
Oh,
I mean,
you.
in a short time, probably 48 hours, and it was something that was really comprehensive. So thank you you're not only talking the talk, you walk the walk, and you do that all the time. You go into businesses, you have listening sessions, but you really listened to that problem and you solved it, and it made a difference in her life and her caretaker. And I really, really appreciate you listening, because she talked to me and I said, well, I can help you, I'll give you some recommendations, but we really need to go to the chair and talk with her, and you made it happen. So thank you.
Thank you. And guess what? I received some chocolate covered strawberries as a result of that. I said, thank you guys. I didn't need the calories, but I will take them anyway. But it worked out well, and I'm so excited for this senior that they're able to continue their services.
Yes.
So that's
because that was the fear because of her age. She's 99.
99.
And her age, she won the key that you and I presented to her at Seniors Day.
We sure
for the
did.
Oldest
for the oldest citizen.
And she just wanted to continue to come because she loves coming. And she said, I just want to be able to come. I know I'm older, but I still love, having that interaction and that socialization. So thank you so much for allowing that to continue, for her to be able to do that, supporting her family to be able to make sure she was able to get there to the Senior Citizen Center. So,
and our oldest male here in Douglas County, he was at the October birthday party.
What?
And he will be 100. So we're excited. He has a few more days before he turned 100. And he still rides bikes and everything.
Wow.
And he gets up and he said every morning he plays muscle training. I said,
oh my goodness.
I said, don't make me feel bad. So
I know. We have some active adults.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
He said he has a muscle training class every morning. And his brain is sharp, and he inspired me when I left him. I said, thank you. 99. And he'll be 100, and he said in about a week. Wow. 100. And his son was there.
That's awesome.
Still standing tall, and he rides bikes.
Wow. And we're looking at Bike and Pedestrian.
Yes.
Because you're on the Aging Committee, and I'm on the Community Resources Committee for Atlanta Regional Commission,
Yes,
which is inclusive of bike and pedestrian and quality of life and water issues.
Yes.
So Tiffany's working with Devin Cooper from the city is working with Tiffany at those bike and pedestrian trails in the city and the county that will connect city and county and Sweetwater Creek and all of that. So we're excited about that. And the last thing we're going to talk about, because I know this is near and dear to your heart, is behavioral mental health awareness.
Here in Douglas County. Absolutely.
You have a forum, and I'm supposed to be not on that forum that day, but something else Tiffany asked me to do. I don't even know what it is, but I'm going to do it. I said yes when she called me, because when I first moved to Georgia, I worked for Clayton County Mental Health. As an adult day treatment center. I worked in the adult day treatment center, writing chart notes and being the activities director for adults with chronic mental illness. So I used to look in the DSM-4 book. They tell me it's a 5 book now to try to see what their psychotropic meds and all of that. But anyway, so and I tell people it's like diabetes. You know, if you have a mental illness, I know there's a stigma attached. But if we could take some medicine or make healthier life choices, it can really help you to have a better quality of life. So I know that's your background too, so if you can talk to us about what you've instituted now for awareness.
This past Tuesday, the Board of Commissioners adopted a proclamation to view this month, October, as Behavioral Health Month, because our goal is to stump the stigma. We want to do that. We felt that I know just by being in the medical field that it's a chemical imbalance in the brain. And it's just a matter of medicine or just the right type of medications and therapy to move these. And with me being healthcare, I sometimes refer to citizens as patients, and I don't want to do that. I want to say our citizens in the right direction. I did serve on the Behavioral Health Board for Douglas County. The Board of Commissioners appointed me from 2011 to 2014 to represent Douglas County on behavioral health. We met in Ball Ground, Georgia. So we looked not only at that, but we looked at substance abuse. We looked at disability, kids with disability, children with disability, and also with mental illnesses and things of that sort. So it allowed me to look at it from more than just internally here locally at Douglas County. I had an opportunity to look at it from Region 1, which is about 1 million people in Georgia, and then also look at some type of all the amenities that we needed, or just different buildings and different resources that we needed to have for those patients or citizens to make sure they're receiving the right care. I'm very strong on stumping that. I would like to stump the stigma here in Douglas County. And we're going to do that by, number one, we have a panel of experts. That'll be on the 24th at the conference center. Actually, your conference center. Thank you for giving us the opportunity and the space to do so. And have a group of doctors and medical therapists, and also just politicians and experts in that particular field to talk about what we can do to improve in the area and what type of resources. You know, like I know many years ago, they just locked the doors on the hospitals.
In Milledgeville.
And just told everybody good night. They cut the lights out.
That's right.
And I'm just not sure if that was the right thing to do, because it's not intentional. It's just a chemical imbalance in the brain, and we can work on that and move this population in the right direction. The whole month will be dedicated to Tiffany has a lethargic list of things that she's planned.
I'm doing the awareness walk.
Yeah, the awareness walk. We have yoga one day so you can relax. And then we have she has, I think, biking just for therapy. So she has, Tiffany, which is our external affairs director, has a list of all those items are on the website, all the different various programs. But I do know Commissioner Robinson will be the keynote speaker on the 24th. Because, you know, mental health is his baby, and along with Representative Kimberly Alexander and Bo McLean. I want to give them full credit for that mental health piece, because that is their baby, and they had given birth to that before I was elected. And that behavioral health component came from my experience as representing the Board of Commissioners from 2011 to 2014.
Wow.
And I've actually worked in hospitals, of course, with the mental health patients as well.
Well, thank you so much for spearheading that. I know that it's something that is much needed. I had the District Attorney, Brian Fortner, in as one of my guests a few weeks ago, and he talked about drug court, of course, that we've had in the county for a long time, and now we're going to have a mental health court as well.
Yes.
And so it's something that really, a lot of times people, unintentionally break the law. They're incarcerated, and those issues may not just be bad behavior, but it could be because of a mental, instability or an addiction that really drives them to do something else that they may otherwise not have done. So it's something that's needed. And it's exciting to see different components of the community come together on some of the same issues, so we know that we have our pulse on the community and we're making a difference.
And the school board, by the way, is helping us as well. The school,
very good.
School is participation.
Trent.
Yes, Superintendent Trent North. I would be remiss to forget that they're actually participating as well. Then the seniors, we have a couple of therapists going to the senior centers speaking on behavioral health issues for our seniors as well. So we have, it's a real robust schedule for this month. And Tiffany's back, thanks.
Oh, I know. She just graduated from the Regional Leadership Institute.
Yes, so she's back, so she'll be driving all the meetings, and she's excited, and I'm excited to be leading this effort. But again, like I said, I wanted to give full credit to Bo McLean, Kimberly Alexander, and Vice Chairman Commissioner Robinson for their efforts on that mental health piece.
Very good. And lastly, I know I said lastly before, this is for real, the end. You have a good conversation, you don't want to stop. But if you can tell us the Board of Commissioners' names and anything else you want to talk about the county, talk to us about as it relates to the county.
Well, I would like to say that it's been an honor the last 10 months working with probably I call it the greatest team on earth, which is the team at the leadership team on the county side, which Mark Teal is my county administrator.
Yes.
We have Ken Bernard, who's my attorney, my Marine. I need him on my side. And, of course, we have a dynamic staff. Our new communications, he's our deputy communications director. Rick Martin is here. Wes Allen just retired. He did a great job for the county. We love him dearly, but he's retired, so Rick has taken the baton.
Oh, great.
And then we have Tiffany Stewart-Stanley, which is External Affairs. But speaking just overall, all our directors, Tracy Rye, I can just start naming Jennifer Hallman.
Yes, we're working together with Tracy on a comprehensive plan.
Yes,
Douglas County,
absolutely.
10-year comprehensive plan.
Yes, Gary Dukes, Chief Spencer, I can just name all of them, Jason Mulholland and Greg Whitaker. I can just name, and if I forget one, they're going to be mad at me, but I love you all. And more importantly, I have the best Board of Commissioners that I could ever imagine having at this point in my life. Not serving in government previously, but of course brought 32 years of management, leadership, and budget and policy in my suitcase.
That's right.
And that never changes. But of course, I had to learn the terrain.
That's right.
And that my fellow commissioners have just been the wind beneath my wings. They have not let me stumble. Of course, what is it, Robert's rule of order. I'm thinking, guys, when in my world I tell you what to do and we keep moving. But everything has been orchestrated and it's very structured. And I really appreciate that part. It was easy to jump on board because of the military experience. And then, of course, you're working with you, Mayor. It's just been wonderful.
It's delightful
you just
to work
keep
with
me
you
laughing.
as well.
I told us I can't be in a room with you because we keep laughing.
It's a good
thing.
thing.
And the delegations, the state delegation, they have just been phenomenal. They have been responsive. We look forward to working with them. November, all of us meet with them again.
Yes, we do.
And you'll have your legislative package, and of course we have ours for the county on the county side, and then the federal team, David Scott, Purdue, David Purdue, and also of course my Johnny Isaacs, and I met him. 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and he was just a lot of fun.
Isn't he?
I said, oh my God. So all of them resonated, but I know Congressman Scott very well, but I didn't know David. I didn't get a chance to meet Senator Purdue.
That was a disappointment because he will set the place on fire.
Yeah, I didn't have an opportunity to meet him, but I did meet Johnny Isaacs, the senator, and that was just a breath of fresh air. So what I would say, this has been the best of all best experiences in my lifetime. To work with such a stellar team. Mm-hmm. We all are marching to the same drum beat, one band, one sound.
Wow.
And we work very well together. I think we surprise a lot of people because of how tight we are. And,
yes.
And do we agree on everything? Absolutely not. But do we learn how to respectfully disagree and say, well, okay, I think we'll do it that way. But for the most part, I believe we all are on the same page because we are looking at reaching the same goals.
That's right.
You know, so I've just had a ball so far, and looking forward to us working further together. Of course, with the Development Authority, Chris Bonfrey and his team are just amazing. That's all I can say. Everybody has just been, you all, as my daughter, so she would let me say this, you all have wowed me. I've been wowed. So I'm just wowing. This has been great for me.
Well, it's your leadership. You know, it's that middle child, and you're so calm. Like you say, I keep you laughing, and you calm me down. We're the yin and yang, I guess, when we're together. But I so appreciate you taking the time out to come and talk with me and to share with the people in Douglasville on our website and Facebook page and all those social media outlets. And how you can contact you is CelebrateDouglas.com.
Yes.
And your vice chair, Kelly Robinson, has at the Tributary area, and Jones Guider has.
And that's what let me introduce each one of them. I forgot to do that.
That's okay.
District 1, we have Commissioner Henry Mitchell III. Let's get it right.
Because he has a fourth and now a fifth.
Yes. So Henry Mitchell III is District 1. District 2 is Vice Chairman Kelly Robinson of District 2. District 3 is Michael Mulcair.
Yes.
District 4 is Ann Jones Guider.
That's right.
And they are absolutely amazing.
Very good. Very good.
Yes.
So I've just,
And I want to just put a different spin on it, your communications team. They're awesome.
Oh,
I had an opportunity to, I was at the Young Game Changers event. I had not a clue that I would be speaking, but I was.
That was in Savannah.
I was a fill-in, so I was a filler. But of course, they were there filming, so I just want to give your team kudos. They do a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Yes.
And your team as well. September Saturdays, my daughter had to sing with her a cappella group, and so she was just excited to hear Mr. West talking and TJ in the group all the time. So it's in tandem. People in the community really don't care where the lines are.
Yes.
They're not driving down the road and say, oh, I've just entered into the city, or oh, I'm into the county.
Yes.
They live in Douglasville, Douglas County, and they want their government to be seamless. Not that we are a consolidated government, but where we can combine services, and it makes sense we need to do that for the taxpayers, to let our money stretch like we do at home.
Absolutely. We want to use our dollars wisely.
That's right.
Dollars wisely. So thank you.
Thank you.
You have any more questions?
No, ma'am. I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thanks
You're
again
welcome.
for coming in. This has been another edition of Positively Douglasville. We ask you to join in the next time. God bless you and your families.